I can
Morning,
log into the
everyone.
website.
Are people having issues getting on the meeting?
Yes.
My link was also not working well. It would only like do a portion of the link, but I was able to enter in the meeting ID number and the password, and that way. So.
Well, I'm sure we'll get a few more popping on if
Yeah,
they're having.
I'd resend it, Allison, right now.
Yep, I'm working on it.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, in the meantime, mine worked just fine.
Good.
There you go.
Kent, do you want to be our technology supervisor as well?
No.
Don Goring jumped on that even before the rest of us, so he must
Yeah.
know what he was doing.
That's the response I get at work all the time. Nobody wants to be the technology person. Well, we could probably go ahead and get started here then. Welcome everyone to your August 11th Rotary Club of Ames meeting online here. We've got a good speaker today. I guess we just get started with our Pledge of Allegiance. Have you put that slide up there, or do I need to do that?
Are you not seeing it?
There we go.
Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And in our hearts and prayers, we want to keep Linda Glantz Ward, and she passed away here recently. Keep their family in mind. And then Diane Borland's mother, Dorothy, also passed away. So we want to keep that family in our hearts and prayers. Any other, anyone else we should discuss? Let's go ahead and take a moment to keep them in our hearts and prayers. Okay, thank you, everyone. We don't have a lot of announcements today. I do want to make mention, next week will be online, and
Nope.
we'll be
Next
in
week.
person. Yeah, the 18th will be in person with District Governor Norland Heineke. He will be bringing his energy to the meeting, and we will, as an executive board meeting following, have a good time to talk with him. If you're part of a committee, we're gonna ask to get as much in-person presence there to report on committees as we can, but it's kind of short notice, so we'll take any information we can get so I can pass it on to them as well. So that'll be next week. There's a, ooh, look at that, September meetings. So the 8th, it says Ryman Gardens, but we'll be in person at the Plex. There it is. Yeah. Club luncheon at the Plex. And then online the 15th and the 22nd, and then in person again on the 29th. It's a little different in September because the Plex had some internal meetings going on, so we had to make some adjustments there. So that'll be something we'll make sure to remind everyone next week too, and every in-person meeting we have coming up. So another special guest, I'm going to go off script here a bit, Allison. Another special guest next week will also be the kids from Ryla that went down there and had an enjoyable week. I'm excited to have them join us and give us a little feedback for how much fun they had. And I was talking with my nephew, and he started out pretty nervous, but he had a really enjoyable time and was grateful for the opportunity from our Rotary Club to sponsor him for that. So looking forward to that too. Volunteers for Miracle League baseball this fall. Reminder, August 23rd through September 27th. There's 2 sessions, a 9 a.m. and a 10 a.m. So any help you can give out there, even bringing family members, that would be great to help the kiddos out. And let's see, still looking for some volunteers for public image chair. Keep bringing this up so to see if we have anybody who's socially minded and loves websites and posting pictures and all that stuff. So if you have an interest, we'd sure take some volunteers for that. And a club service project ideas. We still are looking for that. We did have something. I'll make an announcement next week. But we did have a connection with some other community-minded groups that we'll be working with on a project. But this club service project idea is one we definitely want to keep looking at. So happy to take any advice there or community projects that you have in mind. And so I think now we'll turn over to, I'm going to have Tammy introduce our speaker for today and turn it over to her.
Great, thanks, Jamie. It is a pleasure to welcome Heather Bristow, who is the director of OLLI at ISU and retirees. She joined OLLI in July of 2022. And in July of 2021, and in 2024, she became the director of the program, and she oversees the daily operations in addition to organizing and planning courses and social experiences for the OLLI at ISU members. She lives in Cambridge with her husband and youngest son. Her 2 adult children, son-in-law, and 2 grandsons live a short distance away, so her family is close. And she's lived in Central Iowa area since 1994 and is a graduate of Ballard High School. And the first question I always have, which I'm sure you're going to say it right off the bat, is it OLLI or OLLI? Heather, the floor is yours.
It is OLLI. Thank you, Tammy. It is a pleasure to be here. And yes, the pronunciation is actually OLLI, which is kind of strange because it is for the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute, but we kind of change it to OLLI because it's fun and different, I guess. I don't know. So like she said, my name is Heather and I live in Cambridge. I've been in Central Iowa since '94. Which is shortly after the lifelong learning program at ISU got started, which we'll go over that in a little bit. But aside from that, it is my pleasure to be the director of OLLI. I have come to love this program, and I truly feel that I have one of the best jobs in the world. And I hope that that comes through not only in this presentation, but for those of you who are already OLLI members. Hello, my friends. And I hope that you agree that we all enjoy our time together and it's a great time. So if you're curious what we're all about, I hope I have answers for you today. And if it whets your curiosity to get more information, I hope you'll consider joining us. So I am going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. Can you all see that okay? Looking for head nods or thumbs up.
We aren't seeing it in slideshow mode. We're seeing.
Yep, I will do that in just a second. Get my controls out of the way. Slideshow and from beginning. How does that look? I can't see anybody, so I'm just going to keep going unless someone interrupts me.
Looks great. Thanks, Heather.
Awesome. Thank you. And that being said, if you come up with any questions and you're not sure you'll remember them to the end, go ahead and feel free to interrupt and hopefully I'll remember where I left off and we will pick up and continue after I answer your questions. So this is just a fun little screenshot we took of one of our online classes. We do offer in-person and online courses, which we'll go over here in a little bit. But I do want to mention that the Lifelong Learning Program at ISU was actually birthed out of the ISU Retiree Association. Back in 1992, they decided they wanted to venture into the lifelong learning arena and offer programs for people, and they decided to call it the College for Seniors at that time. And then in 1993, they really got the ball rolling and they had their first classes in fall of '93. They had 4 classes with 120 adult learners. And if any of you were here back in 93, or if you recall Iowa back in 93, there were the huge floods. And at that time, our office was in the basement of Sheeman. And so after frantically cleaning out the office and rescuing their documentation and their registrations and all that kind of stuff, they continued to provide those classes that fall. And it has been nonstop ever since. So the dedication and excitement that was happening in 93 is still here today, which we all get to benefit from. In 2008, OLLI became retirees and OLLI became official programs of the Alumni Association. And that's also the year that the Bernard Osher Foundation invited the College for Seniors to become part of the national network of Osher Lifelong Learning Institutes. So the application was filled out, interviews were had, and that is when we officially donned the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute at ISU name and logo and all that fun stuff with those transitions. And there have been transitions since. This year, we actually have moved over to the CELT department in the provost office. The ISU Alumni Association and the ISU Foundation have combined, but the president's office felt that OLLI would be better served as part of CELT, which is the Center of Excellence in Learning and Teaching. And so we are starting to transition all of our stuff over there. I have actually moved my physical office, which has been fun and exciting, and learning all the new staff members that we have and can collaborate with. And so we're reimagining some things and figuring out the best way to serve the OLLI members as we progress through this transition as well. There are currently 124 OLLI programs within the United States, and their members are from coast to coast and internationally. OLLI at ISU has a member up in Canada, and several of our OLLI members who are snowbirds will travel to, southern warmer temperatures, but with our online programming, they can still participate and remain active, even though they are a distance away. So not only are our geographical boundaries expanded because of our online programming, we also offer our programs to anyone over the age of 18. So we no longer have any age requirement or restrictions. We are pleased to be able to offer our courses and social experiences designed for older adults for anyone over the age of 18. And members are from all backgrounds. You don't need to have a college education nor an affiliation with any specific college to be an OLLI member. We welcome everybody and anybody who wants to learn. And so some of the opportunities that we offer range from mathematics to science to music, baking, like you can see here in the top left. That's a baking pies class we had a couple years ago. That one we made sure was in person so that we could enjoy the fruits of their labor as they taught us. That one was super fun. We also have Italian cooking classes, and we've had an Italian flat bread class. So we try to have those periodically. We've also had lotus flower lanterns. Down in the bottom left here, you can see that screen in the back. That's actually a TV. Our instructor was on the East Coast, and she taught us about the Korean culture and history. And as she did that, she taught us how to build these lotus lanterns that they provided the materials for. So everyone got to take some of those home. We've also had craft classes at the Octagon Center in Ames. The last one we had there was a terrarium course. So they were able to build their own terrariums and then take them home with them as well. I mentioned music. We had a ukulele class before, and we're actually having that again this fall. It's a limited number of people in that class, but it is one that has been quite popular with people. We also offer drumming classes, a Native American style flute class, which we are also having this fall. So we have quite a wide variety there as well. We've had astronomy classes. In this picture, we were able to look at the spots on the sun. And so that was super fun too. Had a little bit of outdoor exposure as well as in the classroom experiences with that class. And then we also offer field trips, which are classes that people drive themselves to go experience and take tours of local businesses. If any of you know Jim Patton, he usually organizes those for us, and he does a fantastic job with that. One of the last ones we had was at the Alliant Energy Solar Farm at ISU. We learned about the solar panels and the cover crop or the crops that they are growing underneath those. So that was a fun experience for them as well. A couple of the social experiences that I referenced earlier. We have an ice cream social in June each year. This is a free event for our members to come and enjoy some ISU Creamery ice cream. And it's usually a time when I have a sneak peek as to what the fall classes will be. So we had around 120 people show up for that the last couple years. And it's just a good time to get together and socialize and enjoy the nice weather and some yummy treats from the creamery. We also have what we call First Friday Coffee. 9 o'clock on the first Friday of every month, we have people gather in person at 60 Forward for a social time of coffee and just gathering to talk. Every once in a while, I do kind of hijack that social event and make it a hybrid so I can give updates to the OLLI members of things that are going on with OLLI at ISU, and there's been a lot to cover this year. So it's been a pleasure to be able to join them during those social events and have another time of just getting together for fun instead of working all the time in classes. So that's just a quick overview of some of the courses that we offer. And as I said, you do need to be a member to participate in our classes. Our membership is $35 a year. That's kind of a steal for everything that you get with it, which we'll go over that in a little bit. But the first biggest benefit of being a member is our course terms that we offer 3 times a year. They're 6 weeks each. Fall and spring, there are in-person and online courses. And in the winter, we're online only. So none of us have to worry about those pesky driving conditions in the winter. We can all stay home in our bunny slippers and, well, hopefully not our robes, but we can have our coffee, and the commute is very quick, just from one room to the other in your own home. So those are always fun to see people in their own atmospheres as well. Those courses, like I said, are up to 6 weeks. They meet once a week at the same time, same day every week, and they range from $25 to $65, depending on the length of the course. And they are offered in person and online, or as a combination of both, however the instructor is comfortable, or depending on what the topic is. Some classes are just better online and some are better in person. So we try and navigate those and make sure we have a little something for everybody so that we can meet our members where they are, whether they are geographically a long ways away or have mobility issues and can't get out, or whether they absolutely need to get out of the house. So we try to have a little bit of something for everybody. And my contact information is here, and of course it is on our website. If you have questions that I didn't cover today, please feel free to reach out. I will do my best to answer you the best that I can. And of course, our website is always available. We are in the process of getting a new website, but the address will not change. It will still be olli.iastate.edu. So our contact information is not changing. It's just my physical location. So we're trying to make the changes as minimal as we can to the members. Some of the other membership benefits that you gain, the connection with Tammy, is that Stevens Auditorium selects a few programs, concerts, events each year where you can buy one, get one for tickets if you're an OLLI member. The Octagon, like I mentioned earlier, they offer a 10% discount on one purchase of $25 or more. We get some complimentary tickets from the Central Iowa Symphony and the Ames Chamber Artists. The new one this year, Parks Library, is offering a $5 library card, which is a discount if you're an OLLI member. And then other things are a monthly newsletter, and we offer 9 OLLI Talk programs. These are essentially free lectures for OLLI members to take part in during our course terms. So those are just some of the things that we offer. And this is a screenshot of our old website. It'll still kind of have the same feel, just look a little more updated, more modern, once we get the new one rolled out later this week. We also have on Wednesday this week, we will have our fall course preview online event. That will be an event on Zoom, and you can join us at 1:30. You can find the link on our website. And this is an event where each instructor for the fall courses will have 90 seconds to tell you what they're going to teach about. It's a good event where you can hear directly from the instructors what they're going to teach and ask any questions. And then on Friday this week, registration will open for the fall classes, which will start later in September. And that is really all I have to share. I'd like to open it up for questions if anyone would like to ask anything. And again, on this slide is my contact information, which you can also find on our website at any time. So with that, are there any questions that I can help answer?
Heather, you might have answered this. I had somebody come into my office, so I had to go off screen for a second. How do you select the classes that you offer? And are they offered both fall and spring, or do they change every semester?
Those are great questions. So we have a volunteer team, our curriculum team. They take suggestions, excuse me, suggestions from our members or things that they want to learn about themselves. And they go and find instructors and who are also volunteers. And they will submit a course proposal through our website. And then the whole curriculum team looks it over and decides whether or not it's something that they think our members would be interested in. And if they are, then I go ahead and schedule with the instructor the time that they want to offer the course. Sometimes courses are repeated, but usually not within the same year. Each term that we have is different. The courses being offered are different. The instructors are different. But there are some that do repeat every year that are popular courses for folks. And I did mention our instructors are volunteers as well. We do recognize that they put a lot of time and effort and blood and sweat, hopefully not blood, maybe sweat, maybe some tears, into their courses. And so I do offer them a free 1-year membership or a free course to take to help thank them for teaching for us. So if you have something that you would love to teach, please get in touch with us. We'd love to hear what you would like to share. You don't have to be a teacher or a professor. We have plenty of hobbyists that offer courses for us as well. So we try to open those boundaries up to people as well.
Great. We
Heather,
did have
we have a question in the chat.
Okay.
Just to clarify, you do not need to be an ISU alumni to participate?
That is correct. You do not have to have any college affiliation to be an OLLI member.
great. Any other questions? For those of you on screen, by show of hands, I'm interested to see how many of you are OLLI members.
I am not an OLLI.
I see 5 for sure.
This is Louis Bennett. My wife took courses before I retired, and she told me about them, and I actually couldn't wait to start after I retired. And I've taken a course essentially every semester since I retired in '98, and everything from soup to nuts. I also served on the curriculum committee, and you can do a lot of other things that weren't even mentioned. For example, I arranged a trip to the Eisenhower and Truman Museums one time on an overnight trip, to the John Deere plant in Waterloo, to the Les Hills. there are a lot of possibilities for anyone who's interested in virtually anything.
Heather, this is Warren Mann. Talk a little bit about the mix of both the in-person and online courses. OLLI started out pretty much all in person, and then during the pandemic, you were only online, and now you're sort of mixing it. What's really happening? And then I know in terms of sites, a lot of this originally was at the Alumni Center, and now I know you're using a number of other sites in places like Green Hills and I think maybe North Crest and some other sort of senior retirement locations.
Yes, great. Thank you so much, Louis and Warren, for piping up and helping keep me on track and sharing everything we need to share. So yes, we were mostly online or in person before the pandemic. We had a few online offerings before that, but of course, with everything else that went online during the pandemic, we also pivoted. And shortly after I started with OLLI in 21, well, it was later in 22, that we started offering in-person courses again. And we try to have at least half of our courses have an in-person component and half of them have an online component so that we can continue to meet people where they are. A lot of our OLLI members prefer online. There are a few that still prefer in person, so we're not planning on getting rid of any of those options. So we will continue to offer in person and online and hybrid courses so that we can meet everyone where they are. In-person courses in the past, Warren was correct that they mainly had been at the ISU Alumni Center, which we will still maintain that relationship and still have courses there. But we've also reached out and we'll have classes at the new 60 Forward Center here in Ames. It's a great space, lots of windows, a lot of natural light, and the people who've had our first Friday coffees there have just fell in love with that location. So I worked with Jeb Childroth, the executive director for Heartland Services there, who's also an OLLI member. And we came up with an arrangement so that we're going to have most of our Tuesday classes at that facility. And then Green Hills and Northridge are both sponsors for us again this year. And they, as part of their sponsorship package, they will be hosting a couple classes for us at their locations as well. So we continue to look for more partnerships that we can have with local places where we can have in-person classes. But like I said, the online classes aren't going anywhere because we have so many members that live a distance away. And we want to continue to give them the opportunity to follow their curiosity. So did I answer everything you mentioned, Warren?
Sure. Talk a little bit about I know you're exploring some arrangements with Drake and some other places. OLLI has got sites around the country, and there are people that teach in multiple locations. Talk a little bit about kind of what you're looking at as you consider options and courses.
Sure. And this is kind of coming out of the whole going online and everything through COVID. A lot of the OLLIs are reaching out to each other to offer collaborative courses. So one of our instructors who does a lot of our technology classes also teaches for OLLI at Drake. And there were times when he would teach for us in the morning and then turn around and teach the same class for them in the afternoon on the same day. And so we decided, you know what, that's kind of silly. Why don't we just all come together and learn together online and see how that works? We're also hoping to maybe start some social interaction with our friends at Drake. There's a lot of collaboration you can do and a lot of support and just friendship growing that you can have between OLLI members and different OLLI programs. So we're looking into that as well. Another thing this fall we're going to be doing is offering an online class with OLLI at University of Nebraska-Lincoln. One of their instructors reached out to us to teach, and I contacted them for a reference, and we just decided to go ahead and do it together. So that'll be a fun thing that we start seeing more and more of. So we will offer some of our courses to other OLLIs, and they will reciprocate and offer courses to us as well. So it's fun to see those new connections being made. Some of the classes that I noticed in the chat, someone had asked for a sampling of what classes are being offered this fall. We have a Mac computers course to learn how to better use our Mac computers and devices. Let's see, we're going to have a fantasy sports class to talk about how that all developed and what it means in the current sports arena. We will have an unsung heroes of the 1950s and 60s civil rights movement. We've had that course before. It's a good one. I'm glad that one's coming back again. Exploring space frontiers. We have an individual who retired from NASA that's going to be talking to us about some of that stuff. I mentioned the beginning ukulele course, which we're having. Learn to play pickleball. We have the Ames Pickleball Club helping teach that over at Harvest Church. What else are we offering? We have an art class with the Russian Museum of Art up in Minneapolis. Before you donate, ways that you can prepare to donate, things you should think about, things you should check out to make sure you're giving to the people that you want to give to. All things ISU athletics is one of the OLLI talks that we'll be offering. Jamie Pollard will join us for, I think it's the second or third time, to come talk to us about that. And I'm sure he'll give an update on what's happening with SciFound as well. And let's see, we also have an author who's going to do a class on the only dance in Iowa, a history of 6-player girls basketball. So he's done that for us before. That's a great course as well. And the 2 field trips I should mention that we're having. We're going to go over to the Meskwaki tribal settlement and hear from them about their situation over there. And then we're going to go over to Boone to learn about building and flying airplanes. We're going to go over to the Boone Airport and then also talk to some people across the street there that are helping with building experimental airplanes. And so we'll get to see airplanes being built at different levels. So those are some fun things that we're looking forward to this fall. And let's see, there's another question in the chat. Are field trip ideas welcome? Of course. If you have any ideas of field trips you would be interested in or day trips, we are hoping that maybe within the next year we can offer a bus trip to further away locations in Iowa. So if you have any of those ideas, please share them with us, and class topics too. We'd love to hear about those.
Heather, I have kind of a two-part question.
Sure.
So it's OLLI. I grew up in Ames, so I know how it started as a college for seniors, but I noticed that you mentioned that anyone over the age of 18 can be a part of it. How successful have you been in getting younger people involved? And then the other question is, are there finals for all of these tests?
Oh, great questions. She's leading me right where I need to go, right? So the age limit is actually something new. It used to be that you had to be over 50 to be an OLLI member. I'm not exactly sure when that changed, but we have been told this year to remember you don't have to be 50 years old. And several of us directors were really surprised about that. So to answer that question, we've not been very successful because we haven't really started marketing to the younger crowd yet. But that is something that we will be doing. And then I forgot your second question.
Tests or finals? Are there tests?
Finals. Yes. No, there are no tests. There are no grades. It is all just learning for the fun of learning. And also, if you're thinking of teaching, you don't have to grade anything either. So it's all about learning and just having fun doing it. A lot of our instructors say they actually learn more by teaching a course than by taking a course because they do all the research and looking into it and things like that. So that's fun to hear. There's another couple questions in the chat. Is there a membership cost? Yes, it's $35 a year. And then the classes range from $25 to $65, depending on how many weeks the course is. And I see a few more OLLI members have popped on. Hello. Any other questions?
Heather, this is Warren Madigan, talking a little bit about the mix of, I know the majority of the participants probably are local to the central Iowa area, but I know you've got a few people that are, quite distant. But how is this, just describe generally where you are with composition of the OLLI organizational participants?
Sure. So of course, most of our OLLI members are in central Iowa. I would say probably, I haven't run the numbers yet for this year because they're still coming in. But I would say probably 60 to 70% are in the central counties of Iowa. We do have some people over, in northern, southern, eastern, and western. We also have members in Ohio, Canada, Illinois, Minnesota, Pennsylvania, Florida, New Mexico, Texas. They're just kind of Colorado. They're all over the place. But yeah, probably only about, that 25 to 30% are distance learners, if that's what we want to call them. Oh, Sheila, thank you. It's nice to hear. She said she just signed up. I have I was on vacation last week, and when I got back, I have almost 100 memberships to process. So that's exciting. Hopefully I'll get through them this afternoon. We'll see.
With your reorganization or relocation, are you still doing the ISU retiree program? I know this is focused on OLLI, but I suspect there's some interest. They both do programs, and there's a certain overlap of at least a given number of participants, I think.
Yes, there is. There's overlaps in programs, there's overlap in members, there's overlap in locations, and there's overlap in staff, i.e. me. So yes, I am still affiliated with the Retirees Association. I'm working with the president's office to figure out what best works for them. We do want to make sure that they are supported. The Retirees Association is supported in the best way that it can be. And we did not feel that the foundation was a good place for that. So we are looking into options and trying to figure out what's best for that group. So to be determined is my best answer.
Another question about the organization. Being that you're a member with a number of other sites associated with OLLI, two things. Could one join OLLI in general and have access to all the courses available in all the OLLI programs? Or also, do you secure some of your lecturers from other OLLI programs for our programs?
Oh, great questions, Louie. Thank you. So there are not reciprocal memberships for OLLI. You can be a member of multiple OLLIs, but it's each individual OLLI. There isn't an overarching membership. And the reason for that is one of the sayings within the Osher network is to know one OLLI is to know one OLLI, because they give us the autonomy to run our program the best way that we can for our location, for our members. So some OLLIs, like us, offer an annual membership, which is a lower fee, and then they charge a la carte for their classes. There are some OLLIs that charge, I'm just going to throw a number out there. They charge $1,000 for the year, and then their courses are filled on a lottery system. So you don't pay any extra to take your courses, but you pay a large membership fee. There are some other ollies that pay their instructors. There are some that don't. You know, it just depends where you are and what works best for your people. So they give us the autonomy to run our programs the way that we need to, that makes it accessible for our people. And which is why they don't have an overarching membership nationwide. And the other question you had, wow, I'm not doing too good with remembering the second questions.
Do we have other other courses that have instructors from other sites?
Yes, so we do share instructors. If the instructor is willing to teach for other ollies, we have a communication program that we directors use, and we put those names out there. And then if we think it's something that our people would be interested in, we reach out to that instructor and ask if they would teach for us. Actually, one of the classes we're having this fall, Where in the World is the US? Are we in the top 10? Is actually an instructor who teaches for, I think 80 ollies at different times, but he's a national and international pollster, and he does surveys and analyzes things like that. And that's been his career. So he's actually one of the ones that we all like to share with each other. And Kent, you asked in the chat, how many members do we currently have? Our membership opens up in July every year, so we are still building up our fiscal year 2026 membership. I'm sitting right at around 200, I believe. The last couple of years, we ended our years with over 600 members in the OLLI at ISU program. So yeah. Before COVID, we were a little over 800, so we're not quite back up to where we were before, but we're getting there. Any other questions?
Thank you so much, Heather. We appreciate
Thank you
you,
for having
especially
me.
on your first day back from vacation, coming on and being with us on the Zoom. And yeah, appreciate all the great information. And I now know OLLI for sure.
Great. Thanks for having me, everybody. It was good to see you, and hopefully I'll see you in classes.
Yeah, I'll echo what Tammy said. I know OLLI now. I did not know much about it beforehand, and I really appreciate you sharing today, Heather. That's great. And membership, wow, that's a lot of members, and hopefully you can get back to that pre-COVID number as well. A lot of exciting things there. Last couple of weeks we've had. Last week was about your mind or your body, like physical training and such. And today we're about the mind and exercising our mind. So we appreciate that and the continued work that your instructors do to help with everyone doing that. Awesome. Awesome. Yes. And yes, thank you again for joining us today. With that, we will see everyone next week in person, hopefully, and have a good meeting with our district governor coming into town. If you have any Rotary gear, please wear that. And looks like my battery's about to die, so let's do the four-way test of the things we think, say, and do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendship? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.